Hello. That's right. All right. I was just sitting here like, why am I doing this again? You know, it's been one of those days. It's one of those days. Feeling very chill, though. Very, very chill. We love the cool stream. This is the Planet Cool stream. We got a special intro for that. Let's do it. This song gets me in the feels. You ready for this? It's Planet Cool. Welcome. Welcome to Planet Cool. Welcome to the journey across this wonderful globe that we inhabit. And we're so lucky to be here on this day. I know I said I was having a bad day. Now my day is getting considerably better. So we're going to learn about some stuff. It's going to be some good, clean fun. You know, there's a lot of things out there in this world that a little bit rough, get you down. Things going on. But you can sit down and from the comfort of your chair can journey halfway across the world. We're not going to be going on too long. Ready to learn about the wonders of the earth. Thanks everybody for joining in for Planet Cool. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be interesting. This is my jam. To do ASMR. This is kind of like ASMR, I guess. ASMR. Do a sleep thing, a sleep podcast. Alright, let's do this. Let's see if I can do a seamless transition here. Oh shit. Don't look at that. It's not all perfect, but we do what we can. So, what are we talking about today? Well, that's right, we're talking about a famous country we all know and love. Italy. We love it. It's a great place. It's a cool country to go. I like that dude tooting up there. Thanks. This is our new overlay. Oh shit! And that's for some reason, the spaceship glitches out and it shoots us out into the Mediterranean. But this is kind of where we find ourselves. Don't look at that. Shadia Mamma Mia. Yeah, that's right. It's a cool place, and I can speak from some first-hand experience. I went there 12 freaking years ago. It's been a whole long time. I remember it well. Think about it quite a lot. Actually, it was around this time. I went on a little college trip for school and learned about art stuff. And so, I'm not really going to get into the art side of it, but we're going to get into some history. We're going to just talk about some places. We're going to go free-flowing and going. It's an interesting place. I got a lot to say about it. Some places we can visit, some interesting sites. Of course, you got the famous Rome. It's the capital city. It's where the Vatican is. Not going to go there. Hot button issue. There's some really cool spots here. Let's just zoom in. Let's get a little 3D overview. Check this out. Look at that. it. Was that place built in a day? No. It's built thousands of years of history here. It goes back a long way. Every time they dig down to build a street or a subway or something like, not the restaurant, but do any kind of digging, they always find some new ruins. It's pretty crazy. It's like that. It's like that all over Europe. In England, it's like that. Speaking of Big Ben, spaghetti. Now, we're not going to get too stereotypical here. That's not what we're doing. And I did kind of make a big show on the last episode of Planet Cool. We talked, hey, there's Pixar. We talked about islands, and I was talking about I'm not going to make any crazy jokes, and we're going to be nice. And then I said this guy's boat his canoe that he made was shitty. And everyone got mad at me. So we will throw in some jokes. I kind of like that song. Let's hear that one again. We will throw in some jokes from time to time, but we also want to talk about some stuff that's interesting and cool. So this is the big city, Rome. I agreed that canoe was garbage. It's kind of an old canoe. It was taking on water. This is the the famous river, the Tiber. And there's just a cool island here. This is what is this called? I forgot, the Tiberina. It's an island in the middle, speaking of island, in the middle of the river. There's a hospital there. It's kind of cool. They had some crazy floods a long time ago. So this thing floods every now and then, but... So you got your main part of the city here, where you've got the Forum, and you've got all that good stuff. The Capitoline Hill, and the Palatine Hill. And we'll talk some more about Rome stuff. This is kind of cool. Statue. And then there's this. I didn't get a chance to visit this, but this is a place to go. I forget what this is called. Terrazza delle Quadrighe. Vittorio Museum Complex. You can go up to the top of this thing and get a cool view. Whoa, I can spin all around it. I think that's the Parthenon. No. Alright, let's go to the Parthenon, and then I gotta get back to on script here. I've got a lot of stuff to cover. I did visit this place, the Parthenon. This is my favorite place to go. Forget about all that other stuff. The Colosseum is trash compared to the Parthenon. Yes! The Parthenon is so cool. I wish there was a better picture. Interesting fact. Former temple, and now it's a church, which is kind of weird. Thanks for playing that. Whoa! That kind of bothered me that it was converted into a church, so you had to go in and be respectful. It's like, this is not a damn church. This isn't the Roman temple. And look at this thing. Made of concrete. This dome is massively huge. It's an amazing place. It's enormous. What's that? What's that weird emote you got going on there? So many churches. Alright, so we got to talk about Italy. We're not just going to talk about ancient Rome, although we are going to do a lot of that. We got to figure out what's this place all about. So we got to go to Wikipedia. It's a good woo face. Okay. So Italy is a very old place. It's been around for thousands of years. We've got the Italian Alps in the north, surrounded by some islands, and we like islands. The Mediterranean Sea, and it's shaped like a boot. Shares some borders with France, Slovenia, Austria, Switzerland, and the enclave microstates of Vatican City and San Marino. It's home to a myriad of peoples and cultures throughout history. What else can you say? There's some interesting people here, including the ancient Etruscans, settled around, and here's the evolution of Italy. So you got Greeks, you got Romans, and around BC times, but we're going to go further back than that. Oh, it's Planet Cool, the boot guy. It's kind of tough to explain the whole history and everything about Italy kind of all in one swoop. I'm going off the seat of my pants here, but you know, I had some Neanderthals and had people, and first people that we know of for sure were the Etruscans. So we got a little video on that. Why don't we just start a video so I don't have to keep talking anymore.
A wealthy civilization once spread across Italy, founded ancient cities, and may have left us with words like person and Rome, and even the alphabet. The Romans? No, not them. I mean an earlier people whose language was almost lost to us. Almost, but not quite.
Native language.
Let me take you back to Egypt in the mid-1800s.
Go all the way back to Egypt.
A European traveler has been touring the local sites, and now he's shopping for a souvenir.
Too late. It's never too late.
Wandering the streets, he chances upon the perfect bargain. A sarcophagus with the mummy still wrapped up inside.
This guy, I don't know who he's talking about, but just to catch you up here, we were all welcoming Poff in the chat, but some explorer guy found a mummy, and he just took it out of Egypt. That's a thing you could do back then.
He hauls it back to Vienna and sets it up to as a creepy showpiece in his home.
Creepy?
After his death, it's donated to a museum where something odd is found.
The dead guy inside of it.
Filled with letters.
Oh.
And not a few letters either. A whole book. A puzzling book. It wasn't Egyptian at all. The ink read like inscriptions from Italy, made by an ancient civilization the Romans called Etrusci or Tusci. Today, we still call their homeland Tuscany.
Aha, that's right. So there's some etymology for you. If we can get into all the different regions. Aliens? No. I'm not talking about aliens. It's a different show. We don't talk about that stuff. The Etruscans. The namesake for Tuscany. So they were way up north. We gotta look at some regions of Italy. A lot of people don't know about this, so I've gotta educate you, plebs. And that's something from ancient Rome, isn't it? The plebeian? God damn it. They make some dope wine. The plebeians, not the plebeians. Okay, my brain is infested with aliens. See where you got Tuscany, you got some famous towns there. Florence, Arezzo, Siena. You got, way up north, you got Lombardia, Piedmont, Trentino. Love the plebeians. Veneto, versus Venice, of course. Emilia Romagna. And they've got Bologna. Parma Reggio, all the famous cheeses, I think, are from there. Ravenna, that's a famous place. San Marino, over on this side, the Adriatic Sea. You got Umbria, we'll check that out. We got a cool city over there. And then the famous one of all, Lazio. And there's Rome right there. Bologna is where they make my favorite meat. That's where they make the big hot dog. Loved San Marino and party down. Then we got, all the different areas. Southern Italy with Naples, Puglia, and Calabria. So if you've ever watched some famous films, you might recognize some of these names, some of those famous Italian films. And then, of course, you got Sicily. That's an island right off the boot. Big hot dog. Now I'm hungry. Me too. What the hell am I going to eat today? And then Sardinia. That's where we get sardines. And that's an interesting place. I don't have anything for that today, but we'll come back to it. Just some crazy cool, interesting spots. There's all these different regions. And back in the day, we think about Italy, and I'm just going off script. This is just talking about what I know. Alright, back in the day, we all think of Italy, everyone speaks Italian, there you go. That's all you need to know. Well, that's not true at all. And maybe I can go over to Wikipedia. It's fake news. Let's see. They had to become unified, known as the Risorgimento, the resurgence. political social movement that consolidated different states of the Italian peninsula. So around the medieval times, they were really, had their own little city-states, and they had to be unified. And that happened in the 1800s, 1871. Began in 1815, completed in 1871. So that's right around the time we had the old Civil War in the States. And over there in Italy, they were just now saying, hey, we need to all be friends. We need to be one state. Which is kind of crazy to think about. They had to become unified. And so one of the interesting things that a lot of people don't know is all these different little regions, they've got their own little dialect, it's almost like their own languages. They're so crazy. They don't sound they sound like Italian, but they're all different. Everyone in Italy, for the most part, I don't know if it's dying out. I can't really speak to that, but everyone speaks a different dialect in these different states. So they're all bilingual. So they'll speak standard Italian, and they'll also speak their own Roman dialect, and it's very different. It's not just an accent, it's a full-on, it's almost like a different language. It's kind of cool. I learned that in school. I was fascinated by that, fascinated by these languages, and it's very common in Europe to have all these different kinds of crazy dialects. Maybe we'll do a language stream sometimes. That would be cool. United States? That'll never work. I don't know if it is. So that's something that happened. They had to get unified. Here's a GIF that shows what that was like. Except now it's not. Oh. Anyway, so it's an interesting place, all these different states, all each with their own different, unique, specialized ways of living and culture, dialects, and they didn't become unified until 1860s, 70s. Kingdom of the Two Sicilies. And of course you had the Papal State. Anyway, so I don't know a whole lot about that, but I thought I would just throw that out there. When we look at the map, think about Italy. It's a very diverse place, sort of. Diverse Italians. What's going on with Corsica? Is that its own thing? Yes, it's owned by the French. Yep. So, Tuscany and Etruscans, that's kind of cool.
Oh, here was this mummy wrapped in the longest Etruscan text ever seen. It was precious, but this linen book had a problem. A problem it shared with thousands of other Etruscan inscriptions.
Had to go off on a tangent, had to go off on a rant there.
Nothing like any other. Mysterious, but not
weird,
undeciphered.
crazy language.
These letters go from right to left, but flip them
Napoleon
and you'll
was
see
from
that they are
Corsica.
basically our letters. See,
Hey, speaking of Napoleon, we talked about him last week. He was holed up on St. Helena. After his big conquests, he had to go to this little island. From an island, he ended in an island.
Spread
It's
from
kind
the
of cool.
Phoenicians to Greece to Italy, where Rome inherited them.
Did all that ice
We're
cream.
missing a piece, though. It was the Etruscans who spread the alphabet in Italy.
He ate gelato.
And
Okay.
it seems the Greek alphabet they inherited had too many sounds for them. Etruscans were fine with voiceless pa, ta, ka, but they didn't
Pa,
need
ta,
the voiced
ka.
ba, da, ga.
Huh?
In an inscription, they even wrote the word for Greek as kreke. This
Oh.
is why the Romans, when they borrowed the alphabet, originally pronounced C as both ka and ga. Looking at the Greek alphabet, it should have only made the sound ga.
What?
In my video on Latin letter modding, this
Oh my
is why we
gosh.
met a vexed Roman who added a tail to that C to create our letter G.
Whoa.
But Etruscan did make use of sounds that might be harder for you to distinguish. Get your ears ready.
Parent-teacher
Pa,
conference.
ta, ka versus aspirated pa, ta, ka.
Vexed Romans.
Like persu, mask, a word that lives on right in the heart of our English vocabulary.
Whoa.
Ancient
my
reports
wrestling
tell us
name.
that they were also missing the vowel O. Or
Oh.
linguistically, we'd say that they didn't distinguish O from U. If
Yeah,
we
so
believe
this
the claim
gets
that Rome
into
took
some-
its very name from Etruscan,
hold
one
on.
interesting example is the word Ruma. So this book
What is
was
that?
missing letters, but it also added letters, like this
Like an
curious
8?
8-looking symbol.
All right, so this is going deep into some language stuff. I think that's what this whole website is about, which is cool, but that's not exactly what we're talking about. But I just wanted to point out the Etruscans, they're from Tuscany. That's where we get that word from, and those are some people that settled in Italy back in the day. Guy looks mad. Oh man, I feel like I should have done more reading before I got into this, so maybe I'll just go. Maybe we'll go up into our spaceship and we'll do some relaxing sweeps here over the city. There's the Pantheon, sorry. Oh man, I don't have it today. I'm not on my game. I don't know what I'm talking about. So here we are in Rome. It's a cool place. You got the Forum. You got all these different monuments over here. And let's see if we can get some... What? What is this? No. Let's get in some of these photospheres. We want to travel as if we're there in the flesh. So they're taking a snapshot of a rock over here. This is what it looks like in the Forum. It's a lot of ruins. It's been well preserved. It's been dug out from the ground. Parthenon is the next country over. I know, I made a flub. I think we talked about it on a regular episode, so it's got me flustered. It's a cool place to check out. The Forum. The old Forum where the old guys would hang out and shoot the shit back in ancient Rome. And then they would go up into their big palace over on the Palatine Hill. And that's where they had all of their crazy mansions for all the emperors and whatnot lived up on this hill. Remember when Magic Johnson played at the Forum? Here's the Arco de Tito. Some vodka. So you can walk down through here, see everything. I think over here, these are the famous, some ancient baths over here. These guys loved taking a bath back in those days. It was all about communal living, taking baths together in this grand architecture. And this thing is huge. Let's see if we can get a shot of this. I can't stick to the script today. I'm just gonna go off. Love taking baths now. Would you like to take a bath with an old greasy Roman guy? Get all oiled up. Go off. Yeah, so I think this is part of the baths. Thing is huge. Look at that. Look at that dome. Massive. How do they build all this stuff? Well, they just knew a lot about math and engineering, and it's one of the more impressive things about visiting this place. It's still standing because of all their great architectural innovations, including very important material that helped build the damn empire. That's right, we're talking about Roman concrete. They innovated. I feel like I'm relaxing in the warm water. They innovated on the invention of concrete. I think started with the Greek, and they added a little special material from, and this is something I actually know about, so I can speak with some kind of authority here. I'm going to use my confident voice. These Romans built a crazy empire using, that's right, concrete, Roman concrete. And there's a lot of volcanoes around this area. I know there's a big famous volcano, Pompeii, or Mount Vesuvius, I should say, destroyed the city of Pompeii. Over in Rome, they had some old extinct volcanoes. There's one right here. We're in the Alban Hills. It's an old extinct volcano. Look at that. You see that? There's some volcanic craters that are now lakes. But you can see the geological, and don't know a lot about geology, but I am interested in volcanoes. And you can tell, whoa, cool. That's cool as hell. These are some old extinct volcanoes. The Lago Albano. And back in the day, this was like their little vacation homes in ancient Rome. the wealthy folks. Hey, it's Turnbow. Welcome. Subscribe to Tier 1. Oh, yeah. Yow. Thanks, Turbo, for resubscribing again to the Cool Stream, and welcome to Planet Cool. I know he's hard working away. He's at work right now, tapping, doing some coding and stuff. 2 months in a row. Thanks for being in the Cool crew, and thanks for hopping in. We love it when Turbo's in the chat. So, what was I talking about? Volcanoes, that's right. Ancient volcanoes that exploded thousands of years ago and deposited all this volcanic ash thousands of years ago. Again, it didn't explode on the Romans, but as they were digging around in the dirt and excavating, they discovered these deposits of red volcanic ash. And they said, you know what, why don't we just mix this up in what we got going on here? And that's not what I want to watch. Let's mix all this up with our famous concrete, and it'll make it stronger. Here's a video I found that can sort of illustrate possibly what an explosion would have looked like back in the day. Tiber Trouble. I think this guy thinks that it's going to explode again, which is not too exciting to think about. We know the story of Mount Vesuvius. Okay, guys, gotta go. Thanks for coming, watching the show. Hope it's not too boring. We all know about Mount Vesuvius. All right, we don't have to mention it, but we will. I think maybe we'll take a look at it. I'm taking the scenic route on all this stuff. Anyway, this video kind of illustrates where these volcanoes were, the Albani complex. At the time of Romulus and Remus, the volcanoes, they were very friendly. That's 800,000 years before there was a big explosion. Huge explosion. So anyway, the ancient Romans somehow had the idea of mixing up all this stuff in their concrete, and they made it extra strong, and they built everything out of this concrete, and it's all standing today. Isn't that cool? If there's one thing that's cool to me, that's one of them. They founded ancient Rome and built all kinds of cool stuff that we know today. You know, I know there are some people that are like, well, you know, they really love the ancient Rome, and it's sort of, you know, they're really fixated on that, and I'm not one of those types. I definitely think that there are problems then, there are problems now, and I'm not here to hero worship any of these people. Just think it's kind of interesting, all right? Don't get it twisted. I don't know what I'm talking about. I can't read this whole Wikipedia. Anyway, this is all about ancient Rome. There we go. I got Etruscans, Romans. They marched all across the peninsula, the Romans, and they conquered everything. They put the sword to anyone who stood in their way. They made a crazy, huge empire. That's one thing you can say about ancient Rome, is that it was massive. So let's check out some videos so I can just stop yapping for 1 second. This one's kind of cool.
The remains of Roman cities can be found across 3 continents. Visible proof of the impact of this ancient culture of city builders. In fact, much of what makes up our modern cities, the grand public buildings, theaters and stadiums, the way streets and blocks are laid out, even municipal water supplies, all have their roots in ancient Roman cities.
That's right. Unicorn Projects presents. Whoa! My code isn't compiling. What the hell does that mean? And this guy's a artist, illustrator guy, and he has some cool books about ancient cities and castles, and I guess he did some PBS
To the Romans,
documentaries
the city
back in the
was
day.
more than a collection of bricks, blocks, and buildings. It was the center of their culture. Legend has it that Rome
Looks
was
like
founded
Will
near where I'm
Forte.
standing by Romulus and Remus, two young princes cast out to die by their jealous uncle, but saved and nurtured by a wolf to fulfill their destiny.
Oh,
The guiding spirit of Romulus
They're
was never
suckling
far
on
from
the
the
wolf.
hearts and minds of those who built Rome's cities, which eventually stretched from one end of the Western world to the other.
you may not know this. Of course, that's the famous origin story. Romulus and Remus, these two guys, they were from that volcano that I'm talking about. They didn't come from the volcano, but they came from that region with the volcanic lakes. That's kind of interesting. Just tying all things together. All this, it's not just a bunch of rambling, but there is a point to it. All right, we're
By the
learning
time
stuff
of
here.
Jesus, the Romans controlled much of Europe and the Mediterranean. Rome built its empire through alliances,
Wasn't built in a day.
treaties, and military conquests. And until the empire began to collapse around 400 AD, its provinces and territories contributed heavily to the wealth and status of the city of Rome.
Whoa. All right, and this is, I wonder if he's going
This is
to
a
talk
model
about this.
of Rome at the height of the empire, about 300
Yes.
AD. It gives us a good idea of the size and complexity of this fabled city. And like most modern cities, ancient Rome
There's an interesting thing he didn't mention there, but this is a famous model of ancient Rome. It's kind of cool. I'd love to see it in person, and this gets into what I was talking about being a little bit too fixated on these people from the past, including ancient Rome and all these other people, which is that famous dastardly nasty man Mussolini himself was fixated on ancient Rome, and he was the one who commissioned to build this crazy, huge 3D model of ancient Rome. So take with that what you will. Would love to see that in person. It's a crazy creation, but it was the idea of a crazy, bad, terrible guy, Mussolini, a fascist, in for a wild night. Bring a date to see that model. Good stash. It's cool, some people made this and a lot of work went into this, so we can admire it for that, for it being a recreation to understand ancient Rome. Don't get too caught up into worshiping these guys. It's not a good road to go down, and you'll end up like a terrible man Mussolini. You don't want to do that.
Faced concrete.
Made the trains run on
Just
time,
to
and
conquer,
also made the big
but to
model.
stay.
That's right.
And the cities they built would alter the character of the land and the world of its people forever.
Yes. So this is
To the Romans, a well-planned city, like Nîmes here in
Donald
southern
Trump.
France, began with its layout or grid,
right.
which time and sprawl have erased.
okay. I can't watch all this, but it's kind of cool. I'll probably watch it all someday. This guy's an artist, and he's going to talk about the way things were laid out, using some of his illustrations, and it's pretty cool. But we don't have time to cover all this stuff. But if you want to go check it out, you can watch this video. I'll probably watch it. I'm into that kind of nerdy stuff. That's why I'm doing this show today. All right. And let's check out. We've got to look at this, I guess. This is kind of cool. I like these 3D reconstructions of ancient Rome and these old places. We'll just watch this for a second. Oh, hum-de-dum, driving our cars around, and did you know, back in the day they had these huge buildings, and that's not just a big pile of rocks, that was a big fortifying wall for the palace. Whoa, there's a huge aqueduct there where you're standing, guy, watch out. There's the Colosseum, and that thing is massive. Oh, take away that, and it's just some more ruins, but they're still standing for thousands of years. I don't know what that is. Not the most sophisticated 3D modeling, but it's kind of a cool video. It's interesting to compare things of the past, or things how they look today versus how they may have looked in their original form. It's pretty neat. What is this thing? Whoa, it's like a huge building. Look at that. That's some cool editing, actually, they did there. It's a neat video. It's pretty neat. It's cool. You might could say that this was cool. There's a vaulted ceiling. There's a wall. What was that part of? A big building. Yep, love this kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. Don't have much information to add to it, but just check it out. You're standing on this giant palace. Whoa. Very cool. And here we go, the Circus Maximus. Oh, and that's very cool. Very nice. Riding your segways around the Circus Maximus. Back in the day, they were riding chariots of fire. Now that's cool. People don't even realize they're in a damn palace. What is this? Whoa. The place was huge. And I didn't really go into all the different hills of ancient Rome, but there were 7 hills, I'm pretty sure. And I can't name them all off, but pretty interesting places to visit. There's some baths. All right, so that gives you a little overview of ancient Rome. So we're here, we're in our spaceship. We've been neglecting it. We've just been stalling out over Rome, and you know what? We got to get back to what we do best, and that's just flying around this freaking place. My favorite thing to do here, can we see this? Is here we go. We all know about Rome. We've looked at the ancient stuff. We got a couple videos we want to watch. But it's also kind of fun to just kind of find some random ass place you've never heard of. Little small town, middle of nowhere. Check this out. What's going on here? Trullo. Trullo. What's it like just on the everyday streets? Oh, got this thing. Don't know what that means. Maybe that's some concrete or some water tank. I don't know. You know, just kind of seeing what's it like just on the regular old streets and in just a small town. If you were driving around your little Fiat, your smart car, this is kind of what you would see, what you would happen across. These little tiny streets that wind around through the hills, through the vineyards and the wine country and all that, and the fields of olives and stuff. That's a cool little truck, kind of a Jeep thing. It'd be pretty fun to stay in a place like that. You can go over on Airbnb, enter the offer code Planet Cool, and get 25% off your next booking. Just kidding, that would be cool. I would definitely take that offer. But it's kind of boring. Who's that? Donald Trump is like an orange Mussolini. That's right. Ah, yes, I forgot to bring that up. Thanks for mentioning that. All these bad guys out here. We just want to relax and go out to the country. And this is a small town. Here we go. Okay, now we're on some paved roads. We're just, driving around, seeing what's out there. It's an interesting and cool place to visit. You can get some cool views over here. But not a whole lot's going on in this town. It's a sleepy little town. So let's check out a place. Let's turn that off. Let's check out a place that's a little bit bigger. This place is kind of cool. And I don't remember what region it was. Oh, I wish I could remember the big lesson that I taught everyone just now about all the different regions and stuff. Because I'm trying to find a cool place to visit, and I have to look up the town. I don't remember exactly where it was. I'm not on my game today, but I'm doing a stream anyway. Here it is. Perugia. Check this place out. This is where I want to go. Next time if I ever get to go here again, we go to the Children's Amusement Center, but it's for kids. We want to go see some cool stuff. Check out this place. Look at that. On top of this mountain, kind of this hill. Etrusco, the Etruscans probably lived here back in the day. You can kind of zoom right. Look at that. Isn't that cool? I wish they had a little feature we could do like a sunset. You can see a little sunset, but it's kind of has an interesting light here on the Google Earth. That's what we're looking at. This is not a video game. It's kind of like a video game. Where's the Circuit City? Perugia. Check this place out. I don't have a whole lot of info about it. I know this is an informational stream, and I'm coming up short on information about this town of Perugia. I guess I could click on the Wikipedia, but what I wanted to show are some of these crazy streets. On the streets of Perugia. Let's see. I'm lost. Where should I go? I guess I can go anywhere. So there you go. You can zoom down. Oh yeah, here we go. Check this out. Zoom. Zoom. Whoa. A little bit upside down. Oh, that guy's got a Homer Simpson shirt. Woohoo. That's cool. Hey. So we shrunk down. And this is one of the people that works for Google. And they carry around the little camera and walk around. So this is a nice guy wearing this cool Homer shirt. What does that say? Cool. So here he's walking the streets. Oh my gosh. Exposure on this, can't really see, but this is kind of an interesting... Oh, wait, this is a photosphere. Okay, so maybe not. I was looking for to go here and go on a little walk around. Come on, I'm going to land over here by these trash cans. Oh, that's kind of cool. So all I really know about is ancient Rome. I can't speak that much to medieval and Renaissance architecture. I'm not very smart in that regard, but you can walk around this. It's kind of a cool plaza. I like these cool little back streets. You could call me a backstreet boy. About how much I like these back streets. Whoa, check this out. This is cool. This is, what does that say? This is some ancient Latin text. I don't know what that says. So, it's kind of a cool thing here. I guess this was like something back in the ancient times. Whoa, look at these crazy arches. Got 2 arches. But that's kind of cool. These back alleyways. Look at that. It's a huge building, and they've got all these little bridges here in between the buildings so people can get around. Like I said, I don't know much about this city, but it's kind of a cool place to visit. And you can walk through the back streets. And you can just imagine what it was like back in the day. Back in those times. You probably had the plague. Cool. Welcome, Tom Chain. I'm doing a cool stream about Italy, and we're over here in Perugia. I don't have a lot of funny quips to say. What I was trying to find is a interesting little spot, and here it is. The aqueduct, the medieval aqueduct. This is cool. I haven't read this in any Wikipedias. Mamma mia. You're not going to see this in any Wikipedia, but you can see it today. Here he is. It's just the guy with the Homer shirt. Yes! Alright. He's holding us on his little selfie stick. And there's his friend with the white shoes. What are those? That's pretty funny. So you can go the main city. You can go off off the beaten path. Oh, this is another photosphere. Damn it. Well, it was fun to see our friend again with the selfie stick. He's all over this place. There's some way to get up on this thing. But how the hell do you get up here? This is riveting content. Everyone's having a nice day. Here we go. We're on the ancient aqueduct, and there's some teens hanging out. He's got a big teddy bear. They're just looking at their phones. These damn millennials. They're probably about to go get some of their avocado toast. Do they have that over there? I bet they do. But it's all the rage for those teens over in Italy. But this is kind of a cool spot to go. If I ever went to Perugia, I would say let's go check out the... I guess if you're allowed over here, I don't know. People might tell you to shoo. get out of here, because you're right up next to people's houses. You can see down on their porches. They're probably doing some like nude sunbathing, like the old men hanging out with their stuff flailing in the wind. But it's kind of an interesting place to walk around. This is just the kind of stuff that you'll find when you're on Google Earth and you're bored and you want to go check out an interesting city. Go to Perugia, everybody. Kind of cool. You can get some cool views and check out people's backyards from up here on the highest spot. And you could go, imagine you lived here and this is how you got home. Go to your computer job where you do all your coding, and then you walk down the aqueduct streets, and here I am at my front door. It was just a hop, skip, and a jump away downtown, and here I am ready to check in and have a little dinner, ready to manja, as they say. Alright, we're not going to go too long today. It's kind of an ambitious stream to kind of try to encapsulate everything past, present, and future of Italy. We're not ending just yet, but you know, I've got all these tabs open. Didn't talk about this, but just check out some ancient restaurants in ancient Rome. Those are kind of cool. Where to get their food and hang out in the bars. Ancient Pompeii. Manja, I prefer ganja. And, oh, these are kind of cool. I'm just kind of cycling through all my tabs. I guess we could go visit some other cities, but I really like these old illustrations, these kind of cartoon comic book. It's kind of hard to see what's going on there. And we'll check out what kind of clothes you want to wear today. All right, so forget about that. We've got Pompeii. They restored some homes in Pompeii, and that was the famous city that was destroyed by the volcano so many thousands of years ago. But life was preserved under all that mud and ash and stuff. So they recently restored some of these ancient places. You can go check out some of these old frescoes. So it's a terrible thing that happened back in ancient times, and you can see all those preserved. They have all the dead bodies there, kind of, or like the plaster casts of that. It's kind of a horrific thing to look at, but if you want to get a slice of life of what it was like back in ancient times, you can go check out Pompeii and check out these restored homes of Pompeii, and you'll get a glimpse into the cultural scope of the ancient Roman city. It's pretty neat. There's a lot of paintings on the wall. What's up? And there's another one. That's pretty cool. That could be a stream into itself about all the cool things that they did back then, the way they lived and the way their homes were designed. They had this little reflection pool. It's kind of cool. This is the website dreamofitaly.com. You can book your trip, you can explore, you can check out the blog. But they had kind of a cool picture of some of the new renovations in Pompeii. What is this? Oh, there's some more Pompeii stuff. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but some interesting restorations going on there. I'm going to talk about another spot, another place that I had the pleasure of visiting. All right. Some cool places. It's kind of a cool place. A city on a hill. All right. Let's check out some other stuff. Let's change the music here. Oh yeah, I'm all over the place today. I'm not fully in a bombastic and crazy mood. I'm a little bit tired. I'm a little bit just feeling kind of weird. But this is a cool illustration of what I was talking about. These ancient homes. They used to live. This is where they used to chill and hang out. And it's kind of cool back then. It was too wild last night. You had a wild night playing the pirate game. It's pretty neat. Bum, 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 bum. One thing we do know for sure, that probably smelled like crap back then. Yeah, everybody was all stinky and had to throw their trash in the street, and they had their public latrines. We didn't even talk about that, where they go take a crap in public, and the aqueducts bring in all the fresh water and wash the poop out of the ancient towns. That was a cool invention they did back then. Alright, but let's not dwell on the past, or maybe we should, because I think that's the next thing. And here's this is Rick Steves' video about another ancient town. We're living in the past, but that's okay to do. Sometimes you have to escape. Was kind of a cool video. This is about an interesting place. Venice. It's called Strip the City.
Venice's bridges are more than pedestrian walkways. Hidden inside the Rialto Bridge is a remarkable example of the secret engineering behind
This is about Venice.
city.
Wait, before we go off into that, I guess I should take us there. We don't have to look at it on a video. We can go there right freaking now. We're just right over here. We gotta zoom out. I actually had pasta last night, so I'm not feeling the pasta stuff, but if you check it out, here's Venice. It's in the middle of the lagoon. Look at that. The Venetian Lagoon. It's a great place to build your city. I think I've read a little bit about why they did that, to kind of escape some of these nasty ruffians, these Germanic tribes that were attacking them. So they came out into the middle of this swampy, nasty lagoon, said, let's build a city. What a crazy thing to do. And there they did. They did it, and it's still around. They said, we'll call it Venice. It's still around to this day, and there's the famous Palazzo there, San Marco, Piazza San Marco. You can go there, that's where you gotta go. See the big tower and the church there, and the piazza. Not the Mike Piazza. And there's a lot of flooding there, because of course it's surrounded on all sides by water. So you're probably wondering, how the hell did they build this town in the middle of the water like that? It's freaking Los Angeles. Well, first of all, what they did is they said, we're going to drain the swamp, and we're going to build a city on top of it. Well, this website, or this video, gives us a little insight into how they did that. Let's check it out. Whoa!
The bridge has a double purpose. It also carries power cables, drinking water, and gas pipes.
Sewage. Speaking of
Propping
poop.
the bridge up,
Oh.
hidden under the stone and timber,
Draining everything.
is a forest of more than 12,000 ancient tree trunks.
Whoa!
They
Drain the
burrow 10
swamp.
feet down into the layer
Stop
of
saying
firm
that.
clay. The 400-year-old posts support more than 10,000 tons of weight.
What?
Wooden posts like these are found all over the city.
You can tie your boat up to one of them. But what you
Venice's
might not know...
buildings stand on more than 10 million
What?
tree trunks that were harvested on the mainland hundreds of years ago.
Holy shit.
A vast forest submerged in waterlogged ground keeps the structures from sinking into the mud.
Yes. That's crazy. You believe that?
Well, these beautiful buildings and architecture is actually founded on wooden poles. One might wonder why the wood doesn't rot. And the reason is because these poles are actually sitting inside the underground mud, which protects them.
Hidden in the mud, away from oxygen, the piles are safe from decay. But the stonework
Yes.
that encases them is now under attack
no.
from a surprising new source.
What? And the video cuts off before we figured out what that's in reference to. They've always had flooding there. That's a problem when you live on the sea like that, and when your whole city is just on top of these posts. It's crazy. Look at that. Get some bad flooding there in the lagoon. They have to put up all these little planks and stuff to walk around sometimes. Or you just have boots and you gotta fish out all your chairs and stuff. You have to have your galoshes. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. City built on posts. What is this, Twitter? That's pretty good. Alright, this music is too much. It's too sad. Protect Venice and its lagoons from the high water. System of mobile gates. And we're talking about the Microsoft, whatever the Microsoft phone was called. A Microsoft phone, mobile gates, or talking about Bill Gates. Okay, whatever. You get where I'm going with that. They have to build these barriers to protect people from the sea, protect them from all the floods. I actually don't know. I guess they've already built this, or this is a... I guess so. I don't know. We'll never know. It's too bad. Ow. This is some ingenuity. So, from the beginning of time, ancient Romans had to figure out solutions to their problems in the form of engineering and construction, and now today they're doing the same thing in Venice to protect the lagoon from the rising tide. It's pretty cool. Pioneering technology. All right. Well, hope everyone enjoyed the show today. Planet Cool. It's kind of an ambitious show, I think, to try to take on an entire country and all of its history and language and architecture and all that stuff. Great show. Yeah, it was alright. Here's Venice. It's a cool place. Actually, let's see. I'm going to tell you a little story. When I visited there, part of college, went to check out this island, which is where they make all the famous glass stuff. Murano. They make all this cool glass blowers and stuff, so we went to go visit that one day when I was visiting for school. And on the way there, this was on a Sunday actually, so on the way we were driving the water taxi, which is about right over here, so you get on the water taxi, and you go, and one of the stops on the way to the water taxi is to this graveyard. Look at this. So they have a graveyard island in Venice, and there's where all the sarcophaguses are. So we're on this water taxi going to check out the glass place, or maybe it was a Saturday, I don't remember. But there were these old ladies there that had flowers and stuff, so they were going to visit the graves. It was pretty crazy. I didn't really know what was happening, and they pointed out that this is the island where they bury the dead. Creepy, weird. I can't click on it to tell you anything, but that's all you need to know. Is that they have a graveyard island. Pretty cool. Because what are you going to do? When you pass on and you live in Venice, you got to put them somewhere. This would be a cool place to go. Check out. Walk around. Looks cool just looking at it right now. So that's what goes down in Venice over in the lagoon. The Laguna Beach. This place is just cool. There's all these little side towns too, so I don't really know much about them, but let's end here. Lido. Holy Toledo. Oh, we could get in a boat. Let's get in a boat and then let's get out of here. Where are we going? Okay, this is where we're going. Ba-bum. Beautiful. take your boat and go right around the islands and have a grand old time. Alright, thanks for watching the show. We're going to ramp up here with this. This music's going to get me in the mood. All those island towns make me nervous. From an island town. It all comes back to islands. You're on Planet Cool. Thanks for watching. This is just kind of where we talk about interesting things and history and places on the globe. This is where you can escape all your troubles and you can travel from your gamer chair. You can get on the internet and you feel like you're really there. You're on a boat in Italy, or you're in ancient Rome. You're going all over the place. You're learning about things. It's a great place to visit. This is very relaxing music. So thanks for watching. We'll be back with a regular episode on Saturday. And if you can take a break from that crazy 24-hour stream and come over and check out the cool stream, we're going to do a best of. We're talking about everything we've ever talked about is going to be covered. I don't care how long it takes. Maybe I'll go for 24 hours. I don't know. So thanks for watching. We're just going to go along here on this boat, and we're going to let the music play us out. Thanks for watching Planet Cool.